Hey guys, sorry I am late posting this episode today. I have had a lot going on in the last week and it's just been one thing after another. So I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired, but here I am, 10 o'clock at night, recording this episode. Normally I pre-record my episodes and I normally do that on Mondays, and I've just had too much going on this week and I need to reprioritize and reorganize my time so that I'm not doing this at 10 o'clock at night, because I hope that you all look forward to my episodes and I hope that I can get back on track so that I don't have you waiting around half the day and most of the night for some encouragement and some love and just to see my smiling face if you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok. So, as you know, it's Wednesday. If you're new to the podcast, thank you for joining today. Podcast Pocket Full of Sunshine is a trauma-based podcast. I just talk about real, raw, and true stories of trauma, healing, addiction, abuse, sexual assault, anything that causes trauma in our lives, and just some things that have worked for me that have helped me heal through my trauma journey. I grew up in a DV home. I have been through a couple of DV relationships of my own, and I've been affected by suicide. I've been affected by addiction. I've been affected by death. My daughter was murdered last year in August, and that's why this podcast came about. So it's in honor of Hayden. And I just want to spread love, spread hope, spread joy, and just spread awareness about trauma and how important it is to have a support system while you're going through it. Because without support and without people that know, people letting you know that they understand how you feel, and that even though they may not have been through the exact trauma that you've been through, they're still going through their own journey. And there is a community of people out here that love you and pray for you and will walk right beside you every single day and help you through this journey. So this month, last week, I was talking about suicide prevention awareness. I was gonna do this episode today about childhood obesity, because childhood obesity really affects mental health, especially in our kids. And us as parents, like, we need to hold ourselves accountable because they eat what we buy, right? And I'm guilty of it myself. I look in my cabinets and there's so much easy just grab and go stuff for school snacks, for baseball game or baseball, soccer games, cheer, whatever, just easy things we can grab and go and snack on in the car. Well, I just recently had my car detailed by One Stop Mobile Detailing. And if you're in the area that I'm in, check them out on Facebook. They are amazing. Let me tell you, my car looks brand spanking new. It has not looked like this since I bought it. I just can't even. I posted some pictures on my Facebook. So if you haven't seen them, go check it out and go ahead and book that appointment with One Stop Mobile Detailing with Timmy Stokes, because it is above and beyond what I expected. Anyway, my kids used to eat in my car. They're not eating in my car anymore. So they would grab stuff, eat on the way, leave trash, whatever. Just, kids are kids. They junk the car up. So I really have been thinking a lot lately about my own health, just because of things that I've had going on or whatever, and family history and all of that. Oh, excuse me. Oh. This is why I should not be recording episodes at 10 o'clock at night, because I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I don't know how y'all stay up so late anymore, like midnight, all this. I don't sleep well, so I'm intermittently up like throughout the night. But by 9 o'clock, I'm ready for bed. Like, I'm old, guys. Not really, but I feel like it. I feel like I'm 90 some days. I lost what I was just saying. I'm sorry, I'm rambling now. Our kids eat what we buy, right? So I myself have been trying to be more conscious about what I'm eating every single day and how many steps I'm getting. I have an office job, so I sit at a computer 8 hours a day. And so I've been making time for myself in the mornings to be able to go to the gym for an hour and use the treadmill and get my steps in because I was literally only getting like maybe 2,000 steps in a day. That's horrible. That is horrible. And if we think about it, like our kids are sitting at a desk most of the day too at school. So they're not getting much exercise. They get PE and their little special that they have that day. And sometimes is not even, running around or playing or whatever. So, and I don't know about your kids, but my kids are on like a rotating schedule for their um, extras, I think, or specials is what they call it. So they don't even have PE every day. I mean, they have recess a couple of times a day, but that's only for, 20 minutes, whatever. And so our kids aren't getting a lot of exercise either at school because they're at school all day for 8 hours a day. So what can we do as parents just to try to break this cycle of not being as active as we should be, not really taking care of and conditioning our bodies? We have to condition our bodies and we have to be intentional about it. I think that's my biggest fault is I love food. I love it. I love to cook. I love to try new recipes. I love to try food from other origins. I just love to cook. And so anytime I have an opportunity, I'm not a baker by any means. I don't like to bake. I will, but I'd prefer not to. My sister is an amazing baker, so I'll leave that to her. But I like to cook like good food and soups and everything. So I I love to do this. So I've been doing a lot of recipe prep in advance, and I haven't been, well, I was doing a lot of recipe prep in advance and making home cooked meals all the time. So over the last couple of months, I've been slacking on that. And I have really felt it mentally, emotionally, just health wise. Like my body feels so different when we're like grabbing fast food or snacking on these easy grab and go snacks or whatever than it did when I was cooking us home cooked meals, pre-prepping meals on Sundays and making us good meals through the week that we can just grab and heat up and eat. Um, Keeping fruits and like apples, oranges, all that kind of stuff in a cooler in the car because that's a lot better to grab and munch on than chips or whatever else it is that I grabbed that week at Sharp Shopper. Because let me tell you, I am a bargain shopper. I am on a single household budget, which is also another stressor that I have. But I'm doing much better than I used to. I am doing lots of things to keep finances in order, to keep bills separate from others, and just all the things to make sure that my finances are good. And one thing that helps that is budgeting with my grocery bill. I feed a lot of people. I have 5 kids now here earthside, and a hopefully eventually son-in-law that is here a lot of the time. And we like when we go to the grocery store, I get enough like for all of us, right? And so if I went to the regular, like to say Martin's or whatever, and bought all of my groceries there, my bill would be like $600 a week. Not even exaggerating because we have to get tons of water. We have to get, my kids like to pack salads and stuff like that for their school lunches. They really don't like to eat school lunch at all. They would rather pack every day. So they make their own little bento boxes or take a salad, or Waylon likes to take wraps, ham and cheese and bacon. That's a bacon cheddar ranch. That's what his favorite is. Or chicken bacon ranch. That's what it is. So my grocery bill is outrageous unless or until I learned that even if it takes me a little bit longer, even if I have to go to 3 different stores, I can still get what I need from the grocery store and it's going to save me a ton of money. So now when I go to the grocery store, I do go to 3 different stores. I start at Sharp Shopper and I get what I can get there, like snack wise or whatever, which I need to stop with as much snacks. And it's hard, guys. I know. I'll follow through with that in a minute. I just want to finish my weekly grocery routine. So start at Sharp Shoppers, get what I can there, and then I go to Aldi because I love Aldi produce. It's better than any produce that I've had in a long, long time, and it's very affordable. So I go to Aldi for all of my produce and some frozen things I'll get from there. Always check their meat selection. The kids love the bento box type things, like I said, so I'll get pepperoni and cheese and just different stuff like that for them to put in their little bento boxes that they take for their lunch. Um, and then yogurts. That's a good place for us to get yogurt and milk, things like that, because it's cheaper. And then when I'm finished there, then on the way home, I'll stop at Martin's and get whatever else it is that I needed on my list that I couldn't get from the other 2 stores. So it's a 3-store grocery day, but I stick to my budget. I don't go over, and I come home with 3 times as much stuff as I normally would if I just went to 1 store. And I also use the Flash Food app, which is really cool. It's through Martin's, and it tells you the expiration dates on all the stuff. Sometimes I go to several different of the Martin's stores too while I'm doing my little grocery run. And I stock my freezer up with this Flash Food, like on sale meats, and just load my freezer up with it because sometimes the dates are like a week out from being the sell by date. And as long as you freeze by then, you're good, right? And so that saves me a ton of money too, which I don't really buy much meat from the store because we do a lot of our own processing and things like that. So anyway, that's how I save money, and I've been more intentional because I know it's so hard, especially when our kids are used to having all these snacks and, whatever they want. It is so hard to switch that up. So if we go to the store this week and all of a sudden don't buy anything with sugar in it, like nothing, our kids are going to go crazy. Like they are literally, it's like withdrawal to them almost. Like it's something that you have to gradually do. And the reason I think this is so important is that our kids are going to eventually, they are going to become accustomed to whatever we're buying, whatever we're cooking. There's ways we can we can encourage them to try new meals, to try new things. And then after dinner, let them help you clean up and be like, come on guys, help me clean up. And then we're going to go outside and take a run, or go outside and play kickball, or go outside and play soccer, do something, get them moving, because health is all we have. All we have is our health. I just lost a friend, a high school friend that I went to school with again last week. And I've lost so many high school friends, some to medical conditions, some to addiction, just so many different things. And we really, really, truly take life for granted. Things are so available to us. All of this unhealthy, processed, crazy junk that we're buying from the stores. And we don't realize the whole time we're just poisoning our bodies. Not that I eat 100% clean, because I don't, because that's super hard. But I'm really, really trying to do better, because when I was growing up, my sister and my cousin were bullied pretty bad because they weren't always super skinny. They would have people call them names. I got in a lot of trouble in school for taking up for them, defending them, things like that. But I didn't want anybody making fun of my sister. I didn't want anybody making fun of my cousin. And I don't want anybody making fun of my own kids. And kids are so mean. Like just over the last week, like we've had all of these threats, violent threats against schools in our area. And it makes you really stop and think. Like I've seen so many different comments on social media about people saying like, it's the parents' fault, da 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 da. But is it really? Is it really the parents' fault? Because my kids come home and the things they tell me, and I'm sure by no means my kids are 100% like angels. I know they're not. I'm sure they're saying things to people at school too. And the thing is, like, when they come home and they tell me, like, so and so called this one fat, so and so said this one had elephant legs, and like all this stuff, I'm like, what? Why are these kids being so mean to each other? And then we wonder why they don't have the resources that they need for mental health, which I'm grateful now our schools, middle school and high school, are starting to have counselors available so they can have therapy during the school day, and it's been great for my daughter, and I'm glad that they have that now, but they did not used to have that, and some schools still don't. And some of these kids live in homes where therapy is frowned upon. So they don't have an outlet. They don't have positive reinforcement. They don't have anybody at home telling them that no matter what another kid says to you, no matter what another kid does to you, you matter. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're wonderful. You're amazing. Every single day when my kids get out of the car at school, I tell them, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're wonderful, and you're amazing, and you're going to go have the best day ever. Those positive affirmations are so important. But these kids that are being bullied and teased because of their weight, like there's nothing that they just don't have what they need to cope with this and to deal with this. Some do not. And then that builds up and builds up and builds up. And then we have situations like we've had all week with, threats and violence and kids hurting others or hurting themselves. And it's just too much. And as parents, we feel hopeless and helpless, but in fact, we're not. Because when it comes to obesity, we can help. We can help ourselves and we can help our kids. One bag of chips at a time, right? This week, instead of buying the Doritos, buy some bananas, buy some blueberries, buy some whatever it is your kid likes that you know they'll eat that's fruit or vegetables. My kids love the little peppers. It was funny. My son came running out of the garden at daycare the other day. I'm like, what is wrong with you, son? He's like, Megan's peppers are not sweet. They're hot. And I was laughing so hard, but he bit into a red pepper that was hot because he thought it was one of the sweet peppers that I buy for him that he packed in his lunch. Poor thing. He was like chugging down water. But yeah, so it starts with us as parents. This is one thing that we can control with our kids and that we can literally make a difference. We can make the difference. Most of the things that our kids go through in life, we can't help it. We can't fix it. We can't change it. But health and obesity is one thing that we can fix, one thing that we can change, one thing that we can control. And sometimes there's medical conditions, and those medical conditions may require medication, and that's fine too. But the healthier of a lifestyle we live, the less medication we require, because our bodies become self-healing in a way, so to speak. Our bodies are amazing, amazing things if we take care of them and we cherish them and we treat them right and we get them moving. Like I said, I sit in front of a desk 8 hours a day, sometimes more. And I look down at my watch and I'm like, oh my gosh, 2,000 steps. And then I go to the gym and I come out and I'm like, yeah, baby, I got 6,000 steps now, only 2,000 more to go. I try to get at least 8,000 steps a day because I should get a lot more than that. Like 10, 15,000 would be amazing for me. But most days, I'm not going to lie, that is completely unrealistic because of my job and then driving to and from sports, everything. I just don't have the time in the day to get that many steps in. If you do, that's amazing. But I do try to get my kids moving with me. Like when we're home, I'm like, come on, guys, let's go outside. Like take a walk around the yard. Let's do a couple laps. Let's walk up and down the road and pick up trash. Like we do all this stuff just to keep them moving and keep them healthy, because obesity leads to so many things. Mental health is one of them, because when our kids are being teased at school because they look different or they weigh more than someone else, then they carry that and they carry that and it comes home, and then they get this self-image of themselves that they're not the same as everybody else, that they're ugly or they're whatever, they're this, they're that, whatever. And that really affects their mental health. And then you look at it from a medical standpoint. There's diabetes, there's congestive heart failure, there's high cholesterol. All of these things runs in my family, on both sides of my family, my mom's and my dad's. And for me, it's super important to take care of my own body, because I don't want to develop these hereditary diseases that run in my family. It ran in my family until it ran into me. I heard that quote a couple weeks ago and I just loved it. And so I'm just going to try to do better. As just me in my house, I'm going to try to do better, because I want my kids to be happy and healthy and thriving. And if I can help alleviate a little bit of a problem that they may have at school, then I'm going to do it. Because in the world we live in today, we have to. We really, really have to. And we have to talk to our kids and tell them just to be nice to everyone, no matter what. Because you never know when that person that you're being mean to has had enough. We never know what day is going to be the day that they've had enough. So we got to do better. We got to be healthy. We got to be amazing. We got to be wonderful. And we got to do it for our kids. So I know that was a little bit further off the topic than I wanted to be, but that's just what I've had on my mind this week. And especially with health and everything, I got bit by 2 spiders this week. So I have by a spider twice on my leg this week. So I've been on medication for that. I still might have to have it drained and lanced. And that really just got me thinking about health and my dad. My dad dealt with diabetes, congestive heart failure. My dad actually died from having a diabetic ulcer on the bottom of his foot that became antibiotic resistant, that developed staph. He refused amputation, so he became septic, and that's what ended his life. So it's just so important to me to take care of my own body. And by doing that, I'm teaching my kids to take care of their bodies. And then I'm including them in my own personal health journey. Like we have a treadmill at home now. I got it for free off the internet. Like there's so many things out there. If you don't know where to start, look on these buy nothing sites on Facebook. Like they are always giving away exercise equipment. Go to the park, walk the trail, do something. But my kids will get on that treadmill. They'll get on the elliptical that also came free off the buy nothing. And they'll use it for 10, 15 minutes a day. And for me, that makes me feel like I'm winning as a parent, because they're doing their cardio, they're getting their workout, and they are building habits that they're going to keep for a lifetime. And that means that they might not have CHF. They might not have high cholesterol. They might not develop diabetes. Their thyroid will stay healthy, because that runs in my family also. So just little things that I'm doing to try to break these hereditary medical ailments, I'll call them. But thank you guys for tuning in with me. I'm tired and I'm going to hop off here and go to bed. But this week, just do that. Replace one thing in your cabinets that's full of sugar and processed junk with some fresh fruit or some veggies or whatever else it is that's not processed. Shop the outside aisles of the grocery store this week. Not that you're going to completely clear out your cabinets in a weekend, because we all know that's not going to happen. But just make that one healthy, conscious change this week and do it for 21 days. It takes 21 days to build a habit. 21 days. So let's do it in October. October will be the month. It's fall. It's perfectly fitting. And we're going to shed some stuff. While the trees are shedding their leaves, we're going to be shedding all of the junk from our cabinets. So let's do that and do it together. If you want to be on the podcast, or if you have a trauma story that you want to share with us, or any kind of encouragement, please email us podcastpocketfulofsunshine@gmail.com. You can reach out to us on our Facebook page, Podcast Pocketful of Sunshine. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, Apple, Spotify. So YouTube, our YouTube channel is also Podcast Pocketful of Sunshine. So check us out, guys. I love you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.